Served hot, just the way you like it. Here's your weekly serving of food, news, and views. Tim Beeman, Stephanie Hess, and Nikki Miller-Ka are Tart and Tangy Triad.
Hey guys, this is Tim from Tart and Tangy Triad, reminding everyone to go to the website tartandtangytriad.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. We hope everyone had a wonderful September and late August, because I know we did. Stephanie and I went to Europe and we finally did the marriage thing. We got married in a castle. The food was delicious. The food all over Europe was delicious. We're going to talk more about that this week coming on Tart and Tangy Triad. On the video this week on the appetizer, Stephanie's going to talk about a little food that I realized in Europe was one of my absolute favorite foods. It's not something Americans can handle a lot of. Obviously, a lot of people sneer at me when I tell them that I eat it, but I'll let her explain more about that. So until next week, October the 14th, 2014, this is Tim saying thanks for watching, thanks for listening, bon appetit.
Happy Friday, everybody. It's been a while since I've said that, and because I'm so rusty, I'm going to tell you right now, I'm using notes. But as promised, I wanted to tell you a little bit about Tim's new favorite dish, steak tartare, and where it came from. The common story, which is partially true, is that it came from the medieval Mongol peoples from the Russian steppes way back hundreds of years ago, who were referred to by the Romans as Tartars. The old story is that they would put meat between the saddle and the horse on long journeys to help tenderize the meat. That's partially true. What was really true was that the meat that they tended to have, if they had access to meat at all, was really, really tough. Pretty much what was available to them was goat, some scraggly cattle, some ponies. So in order to make that meat more tender, they didn't put it in their saddles, but they minced it. And we know that steak tartare is really finely chopped or minced meat. We don't know whether it was raw or not. How did this end up being a French tradition? Well, it started showing up on French menus in about the 20th century, and it became kind of a craze that was going on in France for international cuisine. And this steak tartare had kind of made its way into Eastern Europe. So the French took it on as being sort of exotic, and now we really associate it with being a French food. The word tartare, though, isn't really referring to those Mongols. It's referring to what it's commonly served with, which is tartar sauce. The other thing you'll find, steak tartare, the way it's served or the way it's prepared is with capers, herbs, citrus, pickles, onion, yes, Tim, onion, and egg yolk. So that's what we were investigating while we were in France, and listen to our podcast next week and we'll tell you a bunch more. Thanks, bye. The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely those of the contributors and are not necessarily shared by our distributors or hosting company. This podcast is copyrighted and cannot be reproduced without express written consent of such and such limited, Inc.
Yeah, girl.